today. Thank you for joining us today. We're off and running here. We're going to give a few moments to let people join the stream here, but we've got an exciting program planned for you today as we launch a brand new ITSMF initiative aimed at building leadership capability within our community. So let's just take a few seconds to give people a chance to join, and then we'll go ahead and get started. And if you don't mind, we're watching the chat. If you put in chat where you're joining us from, that'll help us tremendously, so don't be shy.
Very good. Welcome, people from Atlanta. I'm in Atlanta as well.
Okay, thank
you. Look, we have Atlanta in the house today. There you go. We got another person. We should have just had an event in person in Atlanta, huh?
Well, I guess so. Although I know these usual suspects, they'll show up at a party anywhere. So. So let's go ahead and get started here. Our time will get away from us very quickly. So we want to, first of all, if I can bring up our first slide. This is a new offering that we're going to bring forward to you all. And we're really curious to hear what you would like to get from today's session. So with that in mind, Dawn, can we broadcast our first slide? Go to slide 2, please. Dawn, can we go into present mode into slide 2? Dawn, are you there?
Well, maybe we can just ask them the question while Dawn's pulling up that slide. Yeah, there we go.
All right, so here's the slide. Here's the question that we'd love to hear from you. What do you expect to get from today's session? You've chosen to be here with us for some reason, and we're kind of curious to know what that reason is. So feel free to put that in the chat so that we can watch and see that as we go forward. In the meantime, let's go ahead and move forward. I'm Robert Scott. I serve as Vice President and Dean for Professional Development within the ITSMF organization. It's my pleasure to oversee all of our various professional development programs, including this brand new program that we're going to be telling you about today. With me is my colleague, Dr. Malik Rabina. I'll let you introduce yourself, please.
Great. Thank you so much, Dr. Scott. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Rabina Malik, and I am currently in Atlanta, for those of you joining us from Atlanta, and in Smyrna in particular. Just to give you a little background, I'm a retired academic, actually just retired from Morehouse College this past weekend. I'm 29 and a half, so it's not by age. Don't try to figure out the age. It's by tenure. I was at Morehouse for 20 years, and it was really an honor and a privilege to be there. And what I'm excited about is I'm able to bring that experience into this program. So I've been leading programs in Dubai for the last 8 years, as well as just academically teaching about leadership and running my own firm. So I'm so excited to be involved in this program, and welcome everyone.
Okay, excellent, excellent. So here's what we're going to be covering over the course of the next 45 minutes or so. We've got a brand new program that we want to share with you. We want you to understand not only what the program is, but why we're doing the program. We think this is going to have tremendous benefits for development of Black technology leadership. And we want to bring this forward so that you can understand what this program is, encourage you to ask your questions about it, and hopefully to get you to apply. And we'll talk about the details of the program momentarily and the process by which you can actually get in and apply for this going forward. Next slide, please. So our vision for this is to create an experience. This is not about training. This is about a global experience to get in and understand how, as senior executives, operating on a global platform is both uplifting but also challenging. Our goal is to really empower and enable senior Black professionals to operate within the technology industry on a global stage. And we're doing this through a very specially curated program that's centered around building this global mindset, building global competencies, and taking people through an experiential learning process. Now, there's some things I put in that phrase that we need to dissect a little bit. Global mindset, competencies, and of course the immersion. So when you hear those words, let's go to the next slide. What do you think are some of the key skills that are really critical for a global leader in today's connected world? And again, we'd love you to put in the chat your thoughts and ideas on what you think some of those skills are. So as you can see, there'll be a lot of audience participation in this session, and we'll sort of wait for you. So by all means, let's hear your voice going forward.
Don't be shy.
Okay, so while we're waiting for that, thank you, Nathaniel. He wants to know about today's offering. I get that. Okay. And he actually worked in the Middle East and Africa region for 4 years. So this is exactly the kind of experience that we're actually looking to build within the folks that we have in this program. Relationship building, understanding of different cultures. Tori, I think we can deliver on that. We got a program that's really aimed at just that. Hey, Ken, the need for creation and maintaining global strategic partners, relationships. So we actually will be doing a lot of connecting with global technology organizations as a part of this global experience. So stay tuned for that. So these are some great comments, and we're going to continue to be watching these comments because it gives us input into our process as we go forward. Dawn, let's go to the next slide and talk a little bit about the purpose of this program. So the reason why, here we go. Thank you, Dawn. So we really see 3 fundamental drivers for this. One is to enhance leadership skills. We do that in ITSMF through all of our programs. And so the focus is on professional development in all of the various offerings, whether we're talking about symposiums or our academies. Certainly to continue to grow and develop leadership skills so that we can take our rightful place in the corner office is a big part of this program. But the thing that makes this sort of special is that it's really focused on building a mindset that is global in scope, gaining insights on business practices, on cultural nuances, on the way things get done on a global scale is an essential part of this program. In order to be successful at that, we have to cultivate cultural awareness and sensitivity. I call it CQ, cultural intelligence. And we will be working hard to grow and develop this secret set of skills that will enable us to understand, appreciate, and most importantly, work successfully across cultural dimensions. So this is the fundamental purpose of this program. Next slide, please. Now, I talk quite a bit about this notion of global competence. Let's talk about what we mean by that. Global competence, global intelligence, cultural intelligence is the ability to understand and effectively work in an interconnected world, an increasingly interdependent world. Teams now operate on a global basis. And so having the ability to move across borders seamlessly and to understand and interact successfully with people from different cultural backgrounds is critically important in order to be successful in the business and technology environment. We talk a lot about cultural diversity, but cultural diversity starts with knowledge. It starts with experience. And then leverages that into strategy and ultimately into action. These are the skills that we define as making up cultural intelligence. And building this kind of cultural competency is a key factor for what we're going to be doing in this program. Next slide, please. When we talk about global leadership, it's a mindset. We want to focus on really building international knowledge around technical innovation. We want to continue to build a collaborative learning environment for the ITSMF family, but elevate it now to a global stage, building this deeper understanding and appreciation of the different cultures that we all deal with on a day-to-day basis. We are very excited that we think this program is going to open up the door to allow ITSMF to help organizations and individuals be more effective in operating with a global leadership mindset. So the big question, next slide, is how do you currently incorporate a global perspective into your leadership style? Again, we'd love to see your comments on what you do today to incorporate a global perspective into the work that you do. So again, feel free to share with us with your comments in the chat. And while we do that, I'm going to pass the baton to my colleague, Dr. Malik, to really talk about the specifics on this program. So, Rubina?
Great. Thank you so much, Dr. Scott. All right. So when we look at the specifics of the program, if I can get the slide on the program overview, that would be great. Don, thank you. So first of all, the program is it's a 10-day immersive experience. So 2 of those days are your travel days. I know someone had said that they work in the GCC area as well as the fact that they go there. So we know that it takes time to get there. So you lose a day and you gain a day on your way back. So we definitely will. So the on the ground is 8 days. It's a total of 10-day experience. The dates are November the 8th through the 17th. So the program will actually start that Saturday, the 9th. So you can use the 8th as a travel day, and then you'll be traveling back on the 17th. The application deadline, the application is active right now. So you can go and fill out the application. In the application process, we do recommend that you have a letter of recommendation. This is a competitive selection process. So you want to have, we would suggest that you include a letter of recommendation. We would want your resume as well as your headshot. So that's for the application. And there are some answers that you might have to take some time to answer. So please, make some time to answer those questions. And then, on the next slide. Let me just tell you a little bit about the key components. So this isn't just a trip to Dubai. This is actually an executive developmental program. It's a professional development program. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're not only do we have a robust curriculum, but we also have business visits. So you'll be going to different companies that are based in GCC, in Dubai, actually, as well as they're in the region, but we'll be visiting those that are in Dubai, as well as we're going to be going to some innovation centers that Dubai has, So we want to expose you to what's going on out in the world outside of some of the stuff that we're doing. And, Dubai is such a hub with some really, and a lot of things going on when it comes to technology, automated cars and a lot of stuff on cybersecurity and AI. I know people are interested in that. As well as we also are going to go to do cultural visits. So how can you have an immersive program and learn about culture if you don't have places to go? So what's going to happen is you're going to learn from the curriculum. Then you're going to be put in a cultural position to use those things that you're learning. So we're going to go to the cultural centers. You'll go to the old Dubai, the new Dubai, and then the old Dubai, the bazaar and the souks, so you can get that experience, which is one of my favorite things. And well, I will tell you something else. I have expertise in Dubai. I'm from Dubai, so you'll have all the little holes in the walls that you're not going to go if you go as a tourist. That expertise is that you're going to get that expertise from this program, not just for the best chai in Dubai, but also what are those businesses? Who are these people that we need to meet? And also, it's not just the curriculum and the visits to the cultural centers and understanding the 180 cultures that are in Dubai, but it's also doing reflection, understanding how am I going to use this for my development as a leader. I truly believe that, we all have to believe, it doesn't matter whether you believe it or not, we're going global. So this opportunity is allowing you to learn in a hands-on experience. What does it mean to be global? What does it mean to be a global leader? So I personally believe that it's those skills that help you to advance and develop as a professional. So those are some things that key components of the program. So the next slide, yeah, Don, thank you. So I'm just curious, I told you some of the components, what are you most interested in and why? What is it that you really want to learn from some of these components?
So Rabina, there was a question in there asking about some of the companies that we're considering meeting with. Can you articulate some of those?
Yeah, so for sure, Oracle is one of those. Oracle in Dubai and the GCC, and just so you know, so I do see also some the vision statements or the mission statements of some of these companies. So just because there's an Oracle here they run differently there. So you'll be able to see those differences. So we've got Oracle, we've got Microsoft. We're going to go in an innovation center in Sharjah where they're actually innovating new ways for technology. So you'll get to meet those individuals and those organizations that are being created to keep the world safer, as well as more technology advanced. Now, I can't say that enough. We have the Museum of the Future. There's so many places that we could go. But in regards to the companies, a lot of the companies that we're partnered with here, we're hoping to go visit them while we're there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Daniel, for sure, we'll be reaching out to someone from the AI office as well and we also have the Sheikh's office, one of the Sheikh's families offices as well, who's going to be coming to speak to us. I don't want to sit here and say this person is going to be there, but those are the people that we have reached out to, and then we will be confirming those.
Okay.
The size of the group, Elaine, just so you know, that's a really great question. It's 15. So we're keeping it very small. And one of the reasons we're keeping it small is because we want you to bond and learn from each other. So this is collaborative learning. So we want you to be able to learn with each other, as well as it's easier to go do company visits when you have a smaller group. That's another thing. And then we'll have an environment where it's just a little bit more intimate for us to get to know each other. And for you to network. So that's one of the reasons we're keeping it very small. So the minimum we'll take is 15. If we happen to have more applicants, then what we'll do is we'll go over to 2025. Okay, very good. Okay, so in regards to your professional development, you're going to get ongoing support. So you're not going to just sign up and you're on your own. We're going to have pre-sessions where you're going to learn about the culture, as well as, how do I pack, how do I prepare myself, and we'll do some exercises beforehand, as well as we'll do some stuff, the post program as well. And of course, during the program, you'll have support all the way through. You're not going to be there and you're like, okay, well, I need some support and I don't know who to go to. So you'll have support during the program as well. And there's going to be continuous opportunities for you to learn and apply what you're learning. I have a PhD in organizational development. So I'm going to bring that learning into where we have formal learning and informal learning. So this continuous learning that you're going to have, you're going to learn something, you're going to apply it. You're going to be put into situations that you're going to be able to apply it. So that's what I'm really excited about, is making sure that you have those opportunities to learn it. The best way to learn something, as we all know, is to actually experience it, do it, get our hands dirty in it. And as well as that, you're the application of learning in leadership roles. So you're going to be able to take, some people had said earlier, a few people said about adaptability and agility. Yeah, so we're going to be talking about all those skills that you need as a global leader, as well as a 21st century leader, to be successful, and you'll be taking those into your leadership roles. As well as you're going to walk away with not just a robust curriculum that's curated for this program, but you're going to have tools and frameworks that you can integrate into your leadership roles as you're moving forward. This program really is created to help you to get, when you'll get a certificate, and to be able to go and say, I've had this experience. I've had this global experience, because organizations want someone that has a broader perspective that can help their countries grow. Because at the end of the day, how does innovation start? Innovation starts sometimes outside of the lines that we know. Yeah, can we have the next slide, please? Thank you. Go back, please, two slides.
Nope.
The next one.
The benefit slide right there.
Yeah, thank you. So what are the benefits? Some of the benefits that you're going to get out of there is you're going to gain a global perspective and insight. How are you going to get that? You're going to get that through exposure to the different individuals you're going to meet, the different companies where you're going to go. You're going to get that technology and innovation that we're doing outside. You're going to get that global perspective, not just from us telling you, not from you reading something, but actually you're going to see it and you're going to experience it. I was somewhere, so I'm in Atlanta right now, and I was somewhere, and I had to literally physically give them my card. In Dubai, like, nobody takes a physical card, not even the little guy of the stand that's, selling you samosas on the corner. Like, everybody has digital, they're all smart, they use smart technology. So it's just interesting to see that, right? Like, how is technology from a perspective of someone else, and what we know about it. So you're going to gain that exposure. You're going to be able to improve yourself, not that you're already not confident, but taking your confidence at another level and more self-awareness. So you're going to be learning about empathy, communication, and how do we communicate better inside of a global environment. And also through cultural immersion, where you're going to be put in places where you're like, okay, I'm going to have to learn to communicate in a totally different way. And I'm kind of smirking because, like, for me, like, I'm very jovial. And so I have to be careful, especially when I first was there, I have to be careful about my jokes, because sometimes they don't understand American jokes, right? So, you have to understand and learn, and you're doing all of that while you're there. And to me, I think that is the best way to learn, that informal learning, that hands-on experiential. Then also you're going to walk away with enhancement of communication skills, as I was just alluding to. So you're going to be able to improve your communication effectively, not just with your office mate that's from the US, but culturally, because at the end of the day, as I stated earlier, we're going to be doing, you might already be doing business internationally and globally. And what are some of those ways that you can be more effective, where you can have more, empathy and compassion for the person that you're talking to, across from you?
Rabina, one of the things that I picked up when I spent time over in Europe, I lived in Europe for 4 years, was this shift in my mental mindset from being US centric to being more of a global centric way of thinking about things. And there are different ways to see a problem. There are different ways to innovate we can get bound up culturally if we don't expand our paradigm. And I think this program is a wonderful way to expand your cultural paradigm and enhance your creativity and innovation in the process.
Right. And one of the things that I love about Dubai is there's 180 you might have heard me say this earlier, but there's 180 dialects, cultures, people from. You look at someone and you're like, oh, you're from India, and they're like, no, I'm from Sri Lanka, or I'm from, Nepal. So I stopped assuming, right? So you just learn at a whole different level when you're out. And one of the reasons that we picked Dubai is because it's so advanced. Somebody, Kenneth just said, the advancement of the 50 years, yes, and they have bigger dreams as well. And to be able to see that, but for me also, is for you to be able to experience these different cultures in one place. And what a better way, as Dr. Scott said, is to expand your cultural global experience through the ITSMF family.
Right.
All right. So the next slide. So what one of these benefits do you find most appealing or relevant to your current professional development needs, or do you think that there's some other benefits that you could get as well? Anyone? And I just want to thank everyone for really engaging and sharing this.
So again, our benefits were gaining a global perspective and insights, building your confidence and self-awareness on a global scale, and enhancing your communication skills. So which of these benefits speaks to you, or are there some other benefits that you really think are critically important for you to be able to operate on a global platform?
Okay, well, just for time's sake, we'll just keep moving. Or we'll give I know there's sometimes a delay.
Yeah, Tori got it.
Tori, you got it, totally. Yes. And that global mindset, Elaine, yes. And honestly, it's going with the ITSMF family. Dubai is a safe place as well. So to be able to go and learn from an environment in a safe environment, but also with a safe group. Yeah, very good. All right, so let's talk about the program details. So the next slide. Yeah, so I know someone had asked earlier, what's the investment? So the investment in this program is $10,000. So this includes your professional development, the curated curriculum, industry thought leaders who, like myself, who's going to be doing the facilitation of the programs and the learning. Accommodations, listen, we're not skimping, okay? We're not skimping, just so you know. I was sharing, and I'm not going to share with you because I want it to be a surprise. But I was just sharing with Dr. Scott last week about one of the things that we're going to put in place. And we're not skimping here. We want you to not only have an environment of professional development, but we want you to have an environment of luxury. So it's a 5-star hotel. Everything we're doing, what do you say, top shelf, or like the top shelf. Okay, so we're not skimping on anything, just so you know. And if you know me, I don't skimp. Okay, so there you have it, right there. So everything from ground transportation and guidance will be there. So you'll have a comprehensive. We'll pick you up from the airport. We're going to take you back to the airport. anything related to the program, any of the things that we're doing, all of that transportation is included. You're gonna have a guide that can support you if you have any questions, if you have some needs, and that make sure that at the end of the day that you have an enriching experience. You will also have some opportunities. You will also have some opportunities. We're going to feed you as well, and there's going to be opportunities for you to also go try. I mean, listen, let me tell you, Dubai's food is amazing. Okay, I'm over here eating Chick-fil-A for the last 2 weeks I've been here, but I do miss my food in Dubai. Like whether it's that hole in the wall that has the best chai and samosa to a Michelin 5-star. So we're not paying for your Michelin 5-star, but we are going to pay for some good food for you. And we're not just paying for the food, you're going to have experiences inside of the food. So like the first evening that we're there, to the second evening where we'll be at the cultural center. And I'm just already thinking about this other surprise that we have. And it's just going to be an amazing experience in curating all of that. And then obviously we're going to have cultural visits, company visits. I mean, you may say, I know someone said that they were there in 2022, but we're going to take you on a safari that you haven't been on before. Okay. So again, top shelf, you're going to have an amazing experience. And not only are you going to have an amazing experience, but you're going to have an amazing learning opportunity to network as well.
So Rabina, to be 100% clear, so the $10,000 covers everything on the ground in Dubai for the experience, from lodging, the food, to the visits, all of that. You are expected to get yourself to and from Dubai.
Yes.
So that's an additional expense that you would have to take on. We are working some arrangements with travel agencies to try and facilitate that so that you get the best possible arrangements at the cheapest possible prices. Yep. But that is an additional expense associated with participation.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Scott. And we also encourage you to buy your own travel insurance, etc. And just to clarify, you're gonna probably have 90% of your food taken care of. So there's going to be opportunities that you have other times that you'll be taking care of your own food. Okay. All right. Very good. So let me just, I'm just curious, what are some of your, like, you've heard the details, you've heard about the program, you've heard about our vision, and this is curated for ITSMF. So I'm curious, what are some of your main considerations, and when it comes to deciding on investing in a program like this? So thank you, Nicole. That's a good question. So applications close on the 24th of June, and then we have a selection committee. And just so you know that there is a selection criteria. So not everyone, not everyone that applies may not get in, but you do go through a selection process. So that will be going into July. So you should know by July if you got accepted in the program. So it gives you, if you start filling out your application to submit it, you can, go ahead and mark those times off for now.
So again, this is a very important question. It's on the screen here now. So what are your main considerations? What would help you decide, yes, I'm going to invest in myself to do this program? We kind of like to know, what are the drivers that would drive that decision for you? Again, if you want to put your comments in chat, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah. And we'll just go on to the next. What the next is the Q&A.
Yeah.
So if you have any questions, this is now all about you. Yes, and Tori, we could work on, we could provide something like that. But here's the thing: the best way to approach it, like, this is a part of your professional development. This is a part of they're investing in you as your organization and as the world is going towards globalization and innovation. So you're going to be in an environment and looking at an environment where innovation is the hub of innovation. So you're going to be able to experience that, and you bring that back. You're going to have a whole new way of thinking. So I mean, that's one way to look at it. Of course, they probably have other questions, but that's what I always think. And Elaine, yes, I mean, you know, one of my favorite. I know he's an oldie. He's the OG of development. But you know, Jim Rohn always said, and I always do this, is that you should be investing every year 10% of yourself on your learning. And I'm a firm believer of that. And I'm totally clear that who I am in my development is that. So yes, continuing learning is always my goal. Yeah, I love that, Elaine.
So there was an interesting question about, can I bring my spouse? And so there's a couple of factors that really play into this. Obviously, I mean, you make your own travel arrangements. That is something you can choose to do on your own. This is a first time experiment for us, and we're trying to figure out the best way to work this. So controlling our options and controlling our costs are an important consideration. I would be surprised if there aren't some ways that we can factor in some experiences that spouses would be welcome. But the bulk of the program really does zero in on our 15, the cohort, the original cohort. And our goal is to not only give you a learning experience, but also build a tremendous relationship amongst the 15. That is a part of the ITSMF secret sauce. And so we'll have to think carefully about how do we do that in a way that makes sense while sticking true to our core mission of what we're trying to do with this program. Right.
Yeah. And and that's a really great question, and we really appreciate you asking that. And I'm sure there's a way that, you know, we can work around that, and we will, you know, let us tease it out if you don't mind. Okay.
So we're open for any other questions.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, exactly. And I'm here, and I'm missing that. I love speed. I love Formula One, and totally.
So you may have misheard it. Rabina is in the States right now. That's why she got Chick-fil-A. It's not because Chick-fil-A was in Dubai. She's in Atlanta with her Chick-fil-A. But because she's in Atlanta, normally she's in Dubai. She's actually missing out on the Formula One race.
Right.
This time around.
Yes. And then one of my favorite authors, I love Dubai. There's always so many things going on, but Chris Voss, one of my favorite authors, and he's in town as well. So he's doing a one-day master class, and I'm missing him as well. But it's okay. I love coming back to Atlanta for my sweet tea. All right, so let's see.
Hang on, Rabina. This is an interesting question. Robin asks, is there a set itinerary that's available for perusing? And you're busy working on the itinerary right now. You want to comment on that process a little bit?
Yes, thank you. Yes, Robin, we are working on that right now, but I will just tell you off the top of my head. And the reason, not the top of my head, I mean, I have this itinerary like in my head, but we are still looking to see if we need to move some things around, depending on appointments and tickets and stuff like that. So you're going to land on Saturday. Well, you can land whenever you want to come. We want you there by Saturday evening. Saturday evening, we will all get together. We will mingle. We will family up on Saturday and have dinner and break bread together. Okay, so that's on Saturday. Then Sunday we'll start. So the agenda for almost each day is going to be facilitation in the morning, and then an experiential experience in the afternoon. So we might go on a safari, and then the next day you have a teaching, and then we might go do a company visit. One day you will not have facilitation, but we will be, because remember, I'm a former professor. I will not let any opportunity go not to teach and to create an opportunity for your learning. So that day we'll be going to Abu Dhabi. We leave early in the morning. We come back in the evening. Just a wonderful experience in Abu Dhabi as well, which is another one of the Emirates in the UAE. And so and that's the capital, and you want to see the world's the most beautiful mosque in the world, I think. So we'll go to Abu Dhabi, and you'll see the palace and some other things. We'll come back that evening, and then there'll be another, a class, and then another experience. We'll go to the cultural center. We'll have dinner at the cultural center, and we'll take you to the old Dubai, so you get to see old Dubai. And one of the things that I always love to do is I like to see the city when I go somewhere, and then I know, okay, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. And you'll have the tour of old Dubai and an idea of Dubai early on. And then when you have a day off, we will give you a day off. I tell you, the biggest complaint that I get about me in these trips is that I put in too much. I put in too much because there's so much, and I want to give you everything. So you have to keep me. No, it's not for business owners only. So you have to keep me. You have to keep me straight. So we'll have a day off. You'll have an opportunity to go, and then are y'all ready for this? Okay, we're gonna have a yacht party. So we'll go on a yacht. You'll be able to experience. We're gonna go, and you'll see the city from a different point of view, and from the water. And then that evening we'll have our farewell dinner, and then you'll have some time to back up and do whatever else that you want to do. So it's a mixture of your curriculum, then an excursion, curriculum and your excursion. But for sure, you can expect within those excursions, company visits, definitely expect a safari, definitely, expect a trip to Abu Dhabi. You're going to go to 2 Emirates as well, actually. So there's 7 Emirates. You'll be gone to 3. So we'll be in Dubai. We'll go to Sharjah, as well as you'll go to Abu Dhabi. So you'll have those experiences as well. So now I can't tell you day by day right now that this is where we're going, but that is like a brief outline, Robin. Did that answer your question, Robin? Yeah. And no, it's not just for business owners only, but business owners can come. All right, so any other questions? Let's see, what else do we have? All right, so yeah, please, if there's any other questions. So let's just kind of let's move down the next.
Next slide. Yep.
Yeah, it's 10,000. Yes, Tori. Yes, very much so. So we this is, if you think about if you had gone to MBA school, yes, it's definitely a part of that. So you're talking about the classroom learning, you're talking about the excursions and the trip and everything. Yeah. So,
but the secret sauce is you get all of that in an ITSMF framework.
yes.
It's my family. I don't want to lose that.
Yes.
That to me is the thing that makes this unique.
Right. And that is very true. I mean, the people that you're with and the learning that you get, you can't beat that. When we're talking, I mean, I don't want to go into being a nerd here, but when we're talking about formal and informal learning, formal learning is in the classroom. But let me tell you, the informal learning, that's where the learning sometimes really happens. It's when you're sitting at dinner talking to Tori or talking to Robin or Mario, and you guys are having a conversation, and you're like, oh my God, I didn't think about that. And your life changes. Or somebody introduces you to someone else, and now you have the position that you've been wanting. So don't put aside the informal learning that you're going to get in this environment inside of the ITSM family? Well, so Robin, do employers typically cover some of the costs? That's a conversation that, you want to have with your employer. Now, just from what I know, some of the places that I have worked with, they might cover some of it. You have to cover some of it. But also remember, this is a professional development, and I'm not an accountant, but you can also write this off as well on your taxes. So, it's definitely for that as well.
I think one of the things we'll be working on as we get closer to the time is creating marketing collateral that could be used to help you tell a story to your company in order to make your case,
right,
to organizations.
Yeah. One last time on the dates. Yeah. So it's November. Well, let's right here, November the 8th through the 17th. So let me just go ahead. And while I'm answering that, so let's see, Nicole said, are there any criteria regarding the participant's career stage, role, or level of expertise? We would like, when we created the program, we were looking at, mid to higher. But if we have someone that's an early career or going into mid, I think, we would be, open for that.
Yeah, I will have to tell you, Nicole, that our committee that will be reviewing application will be looking at impact. And so mid to senior, originally this was envisioned as a senior extension, sort of an extension program to having graduated from some of our other academies. That's probably the right way to think about it in terms of your experience level. While it's possible that we could take a fairly young person, I don't think that's our target audience. And therefore, I'd be surprised if our committee would pick that over somebody who is much more experienced and ready to have a bigger, broader impact.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the application process while we're at here. So again, go to ITSMFleaders.com and go to the tab which says the Global Leadership Immersive Experience. So you'll go to that tab and the application is on the bottom. You'll fill out the application. Like I said, you need a letter of recommendation, a headshot, and your resume. And you'll need some time to write some essays. And then, so again, it's selection criteria. We do have a selection committee, and it's going to be by the demonstration of your leadership potential and the impact, as Dr. Scott had said, and how this program will, benefit your role as a leader as well as your career. And again, it's the application closes on June. Thank you. .org, ITSMFleaders.org. Again, the application closes on June the 24th, and the program dates again are November the 8th through the 17th. So you can come in earlier, you can come in later. The 8th is a Friday, so we're expecting you to use that day as a travel day. The 17th is a travel day, and then the 8 days in between are going to be on the ground. So really, if you were looking at how much more work am I going to miss, you get back on a Sunday, you could realistically get back to work on a Monday. Honestly, I usually suggest do that at least the first day, and if you need to take some time off, take another day off. When you're going to be tired like the second day, or and then you might need that day to kind of catch up on your. But it's always best to keep yourself running. And thank you, Elaine, for the when is the payment due? The payment is due right now. We have it scheduled for 30 days after of acceptance of your slot, and yeah, that's what it is right now. And if you guys need to have a conversation around that, we're happy to have that conversation. But that's only going to be on a needs basis. Okay, so let's see, like the time that we have left. Are there any other questions? I want to make sure everyone gets their questions answered. But if there's no more questions, I just want to what are your biggest takeaways from today's sessions, and what actions are you planning on taking? It could be for the program, but I hope you've learned something else for yourself as well. We are going to invite you to register. We are going to invite you to submit your application. And if you need further conversations, you'll be having my contact information and a few more slides, and feel free to reach out to me or Dr. Scott. And I am the program director, so if there's anything I can't answer, we can definitely get him to answer it. And yeah, so okay, your questions were answered, Elaine. Thank you. So we're expecting your application then, are we?
So there, just by way of advertisement, we'll have another information session like this. So if you know of someone who you think might be interested, be sure and come and join us on this next session, which is going to take place on June 6th. Similar kind of format where we're basically going to explain the program and answer questions per se. So you all are welcome to come back, or as well as to invite others. I've also asked Dr. Malik to join us at our mini summit associated with our Academy graduation that's going to take place in Charlotte, June 10th through the 12th. As you know, it's time for our academies to have their capstone presentations and then their graduation. But we're going to have a session on that Monday afternoon where we talk about the future of leadership and how ITSMF is working to prepare leaders of the future. It's going to be a very powerful session that includes our president and CEO Johanna Jones, along with the president and CEO of High Tech, and some senior leaders from business talking about the future of leadership, and then representative of our academies and programs, including this program, will take the stage and also talk about the future of leadership and how their programs are helping ITSMF deliver against that promise. So Dr. Malik will be on stage, probably with some iced tea from Chick-fil-A, but she'll be there. And that'll be another opportunity for you all to answer questions of her and the other directors associated. So hope to see you in Charlotte during those days as well.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Scott, for that. So let's, so if you look in the chat, you'll find how to register for the event for Charlotte, and you'll see the websites how to register for the next event. So let's just kind of do a quick let's go to oh, very good, Robin. We look forward to seeing you in Charlotte. Yes, just entrance is a sweet tea for Dr. Malik. Okay, just so you know, from Chick-fil-A. Okay, let's just do a quick recap as we kind of close out. So how to apply? Visit our website, fill out the application, and submit. Important dates. Application is open now. It closes on June the 24th. And again, like I said, if you got questions, you want to run through something you don't understand, for me, one of the things about being it's like asking for what you want, right? And as a woman, I do my research that's been published in the Harvard Business Review is around women and sponsorship. And how do we not move up? It's because we don't ask. So, and it's not just women, it's people of color as well. So really, I'm going to say, ask if you have any questions. Don't let the idea of not being able to participate because you didn't ask, you had a question and we could have worked through it. Program dates again, 8th and the 17th are the travel days. We'll be there for 10 days starting on the 8th. And yeah, but here's what I want to leave you with. I really invite you to look and invest in yourself. Invest in yourself as a future leader. And look at where do you want to be in 5 years from now? And how can this position going through this, position you to take you there? So this isn't just, hey, I'm going to Dubai. This is, I'm taking my career to the whole new level. Dubai has excelled in 50 years. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? And how can this, in less than 5 years, and how can this program support you to do that? So that's going to be my little pep talk for you. And yes, the question Dr. Scott said, aren't you worth investing in yourself? And I know for a fact I can, I can spend money on a purse or a pair of shoes. This is a lifetime worth of skills that you're going to get. So with that being said, I mean, please continue to ask questions. I just want to thank you for your time and for your attention on behalf of myself and Dr. Scott, and for the team that's helped to facilitate this. Really want to just thank you. And we're going to go to the last slide, which is my details. Of course, reach out to Dr. Scott as well. We just he put his email and mine in the chat. Feel free to reach out to us. This is my information. Feel free to reach out to me as well if it's just some logistical questions that you might want to ask. But I totally look forward to seeing you in Dubai and sharing a city that I love. All those places that others may not know about, but I know, and that you'll have the most extraordinary experience and a learning experience, as well as a application integration of what does it mean to be a global leader and having that global mindset.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you for coming. Appreciate it. Okay.
Did we have some of these?